Noah, you are touring the home of two people who survived the strong winds from one tornado that came ashore from the ocean.
Yeah, this was a fierce tornado, Lou, and like I've repeated several times, and I'm always going to repeat this when we cover tornadoes, and we gave about a 5-minute heads up when this was offshore still on the radar. It's the projectiles and the flying debris that's the biggest concern. Look at this surfboard. Imagine if that hit you at 180 miles an hour. And by the way, this surfboard is not from this house. It's actually from down the street. Case number one. Case number two, imagine this flying at 180 miles an hour and hitting you. And we saw these things go through glass at the house across the street. And it's that flying debris, even in an EF1 tornado, that is the big concern. Tarps are over all of these houses because there's no more roof, but the concern they had, which now they know there's no rain coming, is that it's a very dry pattern going forward. So thankfully for this homeowner here, they don't have to worry about too much in the next week or so, any big rain or flooding coming into the house. Now notice this house next door, part of the roof very damaged, and this is damaged because if you caught us during our 5 o'clock newscast, the house across the way here was actually ripped first, and part of the debris from that is what impacted these houses. And it wasn't just a small projectile, it was literally half of their roof, about maybe a couple of football fields away, is what came towards this house. Now, also unusual too is that the tornado started moving inland. The beach is over there on your left, so it started moving due west, hooked a 90-degree turn, and then came right over our head like this and went that way, and all that debris started to come with it. Just truly remarkable, the path of how this tornado happened. And something else I want to mention is the survivors here. Nobody injured or killed. And I'm joined now with Gary, who you're the homeowner here, right here. Now, you've been through your fair share of storms. I was talking to you before. You've lived in many parts of the country and the world. I want you to tell me where this particular event ranks in terms of weather that you've experienced.
Personally, the worst. You know,
why is that?
Just the
sound, the noise,
the sound, the volume was scary. The way it just came in so quickly. I mean, we're not talking 15, 20 minutes. It was like 20 seconds, but it was amazingly powerful in that 20 seconds. It was very frightening. I don't mind admitting I was scared, and my wife was petrified.
Did your ears pop when it happened?
Strangely enough, no. I say no, I don't remember them popping. As I said, I was scared. I wasn't trying to be brave. There was a lot going on. There was a lot happening in a very short period of time, but I don't remember that sensation.
Did your phones go off for the tornado warning beforehand? You got the alert?
When we were stood in the kitchen looking out, and I was just about to go out to turn the pool off, my wife said, "Don't go, don't go." And as she said that, the phones went off with the tornado warning, because we'd been watching the TV saying there was possibly some in the area. Then the TV flickered and froze. I said, "I'm going to go and turn the pool pump off." Just as she said no, and I stopped, then the tornado warning came. We were looking out the back window for a minute maybe, and then within that 20-second period after then, it just came through and it just went wild, and that was it. And then it was over before we knew it, with a big huge bang where the debris obviously landed on the house and hit the power transformer, and that was, you know, that was it. And then it went very quiet again.
Now, we've got a graphic here that I've made that the viewers watching are going to see now. We're going to take that on the screen. Tornadoes in Cocoa Beach are actually quite rare. And in fact, on the graphic they're looking at, this is just the 6th tornado to hit ever.
Oh, really?
Since 1850, just the 6th tornado to hit Cocoa Beach within the city limits itself. In fact, the last one was more than 25 years ago. So I don't know, what do you think about that?
That's just our luck. No, it's nice to hear, because we've only been here 2 years, and we had 2 hurricanes last year. This one come through this year. Never seen a tornado, never been near a tornado, but that does give us some comfort level of thinking it's not going to be a common occurrence while we're living in. Yes, the hurricanes, but at least the tornadoes. We've been through our fair share of hurricanes in different places. This was different, you know, it was just so intense and, you know, so devastating in the very short period of time that it was here.
And you showed me off camera real quick before we let you go. You showed me a video of the wind
that was
right before it came. You probably saw the inflow, we call it, of the tornado.
We were videoing just because it was starting to get crazy when my wife stopped me going out, and just as I put the phone down on the counter, if I'd have carried on for another 2 or 3 seconds, we'd have got the worst of the devastation, because that's when the pool screen in the area just started to get shredded, and everything was just traveling at an incredible velocity, just horizontally. Nothing was coming down. Everything was going sideways, coming down the canal, and all of a sudden everything seemed to shoot up and down like this at the last second just before that bang.
One final question before we go. What words of advice do you have for somebody else in Central Florida who's never experienced a tornado, having gone through it now?
Keep your ears open, watch the news for these warnings, and stay inside the house, into the center of the house, because it's not good. It really isn't good. It's very, very scary, and obviously very, very dangerous. We're just thankful that everybody is safe. Thank you.
Okay. And remember, we're always covering these things when they go on live on the weather before they come on.
We were watching the TV, we were watching 35 News, and because we watch it a lot.
Yep.
And we were thankful that the warnings did come in, before we actually got them. Although there's nothing anyone can do once it happens, you're sort of semi-prepared for that very brief instant before it comes, but it still comes as a shock when it does come.
Story of survival. That's the story here, and we're going to have much more from Cocoa Beach coming up in a few minutes, but for right now, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergren, back to you guys.
Stories are just amazing, Noah. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Yeah.
That is the good news.
It's amazing, and he said right there, that gentleman said thanks to us and our warnings, and Noah being on top of everything, and our entire storm team being on top of everything, they were able to know that this was heading the way.
Yep, definitely.